I got lots of news about Ip Man 4, the biggest of them being that Scott Adkins announced that he is in the movie. Scott Adkins is in Ip Man 4. So stay tuned. I'm going to fill you guys in on all the latest news and details regarding Ip Man 4. What's up, Urban Acolyte Army? My name is Prince and I'm an Urban Acolyte. In this video, we're talking Ip Man 4. Before I get to that, just a shout out to one of my students at the high school where I work, Keandre. What's up, man? Appreciate that you watch all the martial arts videos that I post. If you're new here, hey, we talk about Star Wars, Marvel, DC, all the superhero action stuff, and we talk about martial arts. Not just martial arts movies, but martial arts styles and news in the martial arts world, because Star Wars and these action movies, they inspired me to take up martial arts and get into meditation. Anyway, the news regarding Ip Man 4, Scott Adkins is in the movie. He announced it yesterday on Facebook and on Instagram. Let me tell you what he had to say. So his post read, "I'm extremely excited to report that I'm currently in China shooting Ip Man 4 with the great Donnie Yen, who I've been a huge fan of since the 80s. Donnie personally asked me to play this part, and for sure you guys won't be disappointed, especially with our action director being the legendary Yun Woo Ping. I consider the Ip Man films to be modern martial arts film masterpieces, and it's an honor to be part of director Wilson Yip's vision," right? And if you don't know who Yun Woo Ping is, he was the action director, the fight choreographer for all the Matrix movies. He comes from a family of action directors, fight choreographers. He was the first action director that got Donnie Yen started in films. In Donnie Yen's first movie, I think it was Drunken Tai Chi, which I actually own, right? You know, people say, "Oh, I'm the biggest Donnie Yen fan. I love those Ip Man movies." And it's like, oh, you're a big Donnie Yen fan, but all you know is Ip Man movies? Homie, my friend, let me school you into some game, right? Let me put you in the game, right? And if you don't know Scott Adkins, hey man, he's Yuri Boyka in the Undisputed films. He did Accident Man, which is kind of his pet project. You can buy that on the Google Play Store. Awesome movie with Michael Jai White, Amy Johnson. They have the big boss fight between Amy Johnson and Scott Adkins, and Amy Johnson is freaking hot in that movie. It's too bad she don't watch my videos. She's got a great channel where she posts stuff about how to train like the stunt people in Hollywood. And she's stunt doubled for a lot of people in the Avengers and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all this superhero stuff that we talk about here. So check out Amy Johnson's channel. Right now, that's been established. Now, the other bit of news is that we have a plot synopsis for Ip Man 4. And I got this from the man Lee Golden. Lee Golden runs a great site. I think it's like called Combat Syndicate. It's a blog, and he doesn't do it for money. He does it for the love of kung fu, martial arts movies. And this dude is on top of everything. So check out his website. But he has given us a plot synopsis of Ip Man 4. So it reads, "Ip Man has been living a peaceful life teaching Wing Chun. One of Ip's students, Bruce Lee, decides to open a Wing Chun school in the States. The local Kung Fu masters are not happy about it. Ip goes to the States and helps Lee to resolve the problems. Meanwhile, Ip also teaches Lee how to become a real Wing Chun master. Ip gains respect from Chinatown and all across the States. He spreads the theory of Chinese Kung Fu to society and makes it popular in the world." So, in the other videos, I said, what is there left to do? They're probably going to have Ip Man training a young Bruce Lee. And it sounds like they're picking up with Bruce Lee having his school in San Francisco in the early days in Chinatown. He's gone to Seattle. I guess he's come back from Seattle and started teaching Wing Chun, the Jun Fan material at the San Francisco school. or maybe he's in LA, but I'm thinking he's in San Francisco, in Oakland. In the Oakland days, he's stirring up trouble there with I can't think of the term, right? But I talked about this in the video, the live stream that I did about the birth of the dragon. I actually had to take those videos down, all those live stream hangouts. I had to take those down because some people were spamming those videos and they were killing my channel basically. So I apologize to, if you can't go back and watch those now. But I said in those that, you had these and Dragon, the Bruce Lee story that Jason Scott Lee played in, kind of touches on this, but no one really gets the story, I'll say, right, because I wasn't around back then. My mom was a little girl when all this was going down, and she was here in Nashville. I mean, she grew up the street from where I am right now. So she, there's no way I would know this, but I have mentioned that some of my Kung Fu brothers do know people who were around on the scene, and they were present at the actual fight between Bruce Lee and Wong Jack Man, right? But the story that I have read and spent time researching the last, I want to say almost 15 years at this point, a little less than 15, is that you had the Hop Sing. That was the word I was trying to think of. The Hop Sing were like enforcers, not so much, because you start talking about triads and gangsters, and it's the enforcers in Chinatown, not like capos or something, I don't know, like a mafia term, but they kept the peace in Chinatown. If people were causing too much trouble, they stepped in, right? And the Hop Sing were made up a lot of these Kung Fu masters that had come over from China, right? And so Bruce Lee had kind of fallen out with the Hop Sing. It caused some trouble. Now, to put this in a positive light, I don't know, maybe they go the line of, he's teaching the secrets to outsiders. The truth is there were a lot of people teaching secrets to outsiders, to the Guaylo, because they need money, right? Bruce Lee was shooting off at the mouth and insulting people, and these Kung Fu masters, and there's this thing in Chinese Kung Fu all about saving face. It probably comes from Confucian philosophy, right? And so in some of these the people who weren't even students, they were like patrons of these masters, Lao Bun being one of them. Google that name, Lao Bun. Ironically, Lao Bun is one of the reasons that Urban Acolyte exists, man. It's crazy when you start talking lineages and you start thinking about this person inspired this person that inspired this person, and here you are, right? It'll blow your mind, right? But Lao Bun was a Choi Li Foot master. His nephew was Sher K. Lu. Sher K. Lu, at the age of 14, went to a Taoist monastery, lived there until he was 30, came to the United States, eventually taught students here. One of his students, I don't want to give this guy's identity away, but I'll say I trained with that person in a martial art when I was in California. That guy introduced me to Taoism, Neigong, Qigong, actually encouraged me to take up Tai Chi, and all this Urban Acolyte stuff. That person planted those seeds in me, right? So he's a student of Sher K. Lu. Sher K. Lu's uncle is Lao Bun, and Lao Bun was one of those guys Bruce Lee was taking shots at. And so Lao Bun's patrons were the ones who instigated this fight between Bruce Lee and Wong Jack Man. So what does this have to do with Ip Man? So in this movie, Ip Man 4, it sounds like Ip Man is coming over from Hong Kong to squash the beef between Bruce Lee and the Hop Sing. And I don't know, how does Scott Adkins work into this? I don't know. When I first heard this, I thought it was going to be set in Hong Kong. I thought it would be great to have Scott Adkins as the adversary. I mean, he's British. Hong Kong was like a British kind of colony or under the control of the British. And maybe Ip Man has to confront, or he's having trouble with maybe corrupt British officers, British police, and they have their squabble and they fight. at the end in Act 3. That's where I was thinking this was going. But now it sounds like it's set in America. And I have no idea how Scott Adkins will work into this. Maybe he's an outsider. Maybe he's one of Bruce Lee's students. Maybe I think it would be cool to have him be Chuck Norris, like or Joe Louis, one of those karate world champions that eventually started to train with Bruce, right? And maybe it's like, hey, I don't think this stuff really works. I don't know about this. And then they kind of tell the story. Well, Ip Man worked with Bruce, and Ip Man was the one that helped Bruce. Of course, it's all fiction. I've said there's not much they can do with this movie, but we'll see. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? And sorry that I went on the tangents, but you guys know I love talking this stuff. I love talking about the Oakland scene with Bruce Lee. There's actually some old books that someone wrote about Bruce Lee in the Oakland scene, how he was at that point in time. I don't know if it's still possible to get those books. They've been on my Amazon wish list for 10 years now. If this whole thing with me going back and working for the state, if that works out so that I can kind of build this channel out to expand it, right? And not have to worry about, the YouTube algorithm and notifications aren't going out, and building up a new audience that doesn't come here just for Star Wars stuff. I'll try to get the books, and maybe I'll do a video on them to talk about Bruce Lee in the Oakland scene. And that would be good material to know if Shannon Lee, Bruce's daughter, actually does do the definitive Bruce Lee biopic. So I don't know, but anyway, I've talked enough. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about Scott Adkins being cast in Ip Man 4? Or are you excited for this movie? It's probably not going to come out. I don't know. It could come out in China by the end of the year, but I don't expect it to come to the U.S. until probably next summer. So a year from now, because they're filming now. I imagine they're going to film for probably 6 weeks, a month and a half, and then however much they need to do in post-production, and then, however long it takes for it to come out in China, and then make its way over here. So I'm predicting 2019, summer 2019 is when we'll get it, and we'll just have to wait on that. But like I said, what do you guys think about this? We're getting Scott Adkins, whoever he's playing. And I'd like to hear just your guesses. What kind of role do you see Scott Adkins playing? What kind of role do you see Scott Adkins playing? What are your thoughts on seeing Bruce Lee running his Oakland school? And do you think someone will finally put Jesse Glover in a freaking Bruce Lee anything where they don't make him a loser like they did in the freaking Bruce Lee soap opera, where he's like an African immigrant who gets beat up and he's never actually a student of Bruce Lee. He's just kind of like some coolie that's hanging around, right? So those three things, that's what I want to know. Guesses on what Scott Adkins is doing in this movie. Thoughts on Bruce Lee, a young Sifu Bruce being instructed by Ip Man and having a school. And if you think we'll see Jesse Glover, and I'll throw Dan Inosanto in there too. If you think we'll see Jesse Glover and Guru Dan Inosanto. So those three things, let me know your thoughts and answers to those questions down in the comments below. And I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, click that subscribe button and take your first steps towards joining the Urban Acolyte Army. Embark on the journey of becoming the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Continue to support the channel. You can do that by checking out more videos over here or sharing this video or any other video. Please share them. That's how you help the channel grow, right? So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.